and gentlemen, yes, this is your favorite show, Sports Unfolded, with your favorite hosts, Eric and Ron.
Hey, welcome to the best sports podcast on the planet, Sports Unfolded, where we cover all of the top sports stories going on in the week today. I am your host, Eric. My main man right over there, Ron. How are you tonight?
I'm fired up, ready to go, and I am going to lose some Christmas cards today, Eric. You know it.
I am excited. First off, if you are joining us live, please join the chat. Let us know that you're here and let us know that you want to have a conversation. Let us know what you think about the topics. And if you have any opinions, please feel free to chime in at any given point. Also, remember to follow us on all our social media platforms, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, MeWe. We're on everything. If you'd like some merch, Patreon at RI Broadcasting. You can get pins, mugs, and more. So check that out. And if you'd like to donate, look at the mug. Look at that thing. That is sharp.
This mug is nice. It is nice. Both sides, by the way.
Pretty fancy.
In case you're left-handed.
Oh, see that? And if you'd like to donate, stars, bits, buy me a coffee. So many different ways that you can help contribute and donate to the show. Again, at RI Broadcasting on Facebook. We're live every Friday night at 6 p.m. We want to thank everybody out in Dallas, Georgia as well, 99.1 WDJY, for all of their help in getting us on the radio. So we're excited every Saturday, 1 to 3, and SEC TV, Public Access Channel 12 in Southeast Connecticut on Tuesday nights at 10 p.m. Ron, it is time to start this bad boy tonight, and I can only imagine how this is going to go with this first story.
Oh, wrong one.
Can the 49ers lose a still on, dude?
Wait, what?
With Trevor Lawrence. That's great. All right. Even with the victory last night of the against the New York Giants, should the Dallas Cowboy fans be worried about their team?
Well, they should be worried because it's a good team for regular season. Now, look, they should have blown out the Giants, to be honest with you. Like, the Giants can't even score a touchdown. Daniel Jones is just inept. But what does it say that they lose by – I mean, they beat the Giants by 5. What does that say for the Dallas Cowboys?
I would be concerned. I would say this every year that we've actually had the Dallas Cowboys, perform well in the regular season, their defense was a big part of that. Currently ranked 25th overall in defensive yards per game, giving up 355.3.
New coordinator.
Most rushing yards given up so far for the season, 583. And they're 25th in points against at 26 points per game. So you look at Dan Quinn and his impact of leaving the team from a defensive standpoint, that's where I would really be concerned because they don't have the ability to shut teams down like they did in the past.
No, and it's glaring. I would find it hard to believe if they don't fire somebody.
And that's what I'm saying, right?
With defensive coordinator, but I mean, it's obvious. Like, look, they were solid on defense last season. I mean, they have no effect on anyone right now. Nobody is doing well.
Yeah, Micah Parsons, 1 sack so far this season. Trayvon Diggs, who's their top cornerback, one interception. So the playmakers aren't making it. We knew going into this that with Dak getting his contract, CeeDee Lamb getting his contract, that could also affect this team. But then I started to look at the schedule, Ron, and there's where they have to really get nervous as Cowboy fans. Next 6 games: Pittsburgh, Detroit, San Francisco, Atlanta, Philadelphia, and Houston, and then back-to-back division games with Washington and the Giants. So we could sit back and say maybe those 2 games, but Washington's playing some good football. Anytime you play somebody in the division, look, you just beat the Giants by 5 points, and that was it. It's always difficult. They've got a stretch here where realistically they could lose 6 out of 8 games.
I think that's Kenny's driver coming into the pits now.
Oh, nice.
Last week's race.
Finally caught up. Realistically, this team could be 4-8 after 12 weeks, Ron.
Yeah. I mean, it could. And when you think about how the roster improved for Atlanta as well, I mean, that is not going to be an easy game anymore. Granted, they're 1-2. I think it'll take some time for that team to gel, especially with another new head coach there. Was it Atlanta that hired a new coach this year? Yeah, right.
Raheem Morris.
So, right. So, I mean, when you look at all these factors, I can understand that team might take a little time, but it's still got some good players on it, and that could do some damage, to the schedule for Dallas to go along with all those teams like Detroit, San Francisco. Even though San Francisco's not healthy, you got to think, by the time they roll around to play Dallas, I mean, it might look a little different. And I don't know. That's going to be a big ask to get through these next 6 weeks. And 8, if you want to count the division rivals. I mean, you're 4-4 at best. And then you're looking at a 6-6 record.
Yeah, they were a 500 team. A couple of injuries last night too, right? DeMarcus Lawrence, their defensive end.
Yeah.
And then Micah Parsons with a high ankle sprain now. And obviously we know that could affect him for a few weeks. Here's where I think it really affects the team overall, though, Ron. Mike McCarthy pretty much is a lame duck coach. We know last year of the contract, a lot of speculation about him getting, fired. Bill Belichick and that's going to loom over this team for the rest of the season. And I don't see how, if he starts to struggle and those continue, that continuous discussion about Bill Belichick and possibly going to Dallas happens, does this team fall apart? And we may be witnessing the end of the Dallas Cowboys run here with the NFC East, where they seem to be the most dominant team in that division.
Yeah, when do you pull the trigger if you're Jerry, right? I mean, when do you pull that Bobby, cut the grass later. Yeah, when do you pull the trigger? Do you wait too long? Do you do it, if they go 2-4? It's when do you pull that trigger that is important, because you can't wait till you're out of the playoff run, not with a team that you just paid big time money. So, I mean, if you want to salvage your season, you got to pull the trigger soon.
Or the lawnmower.
Bobby Boucher doesn't listen.
I will say this too, Ron. The depth on this team is inept based on the fact that they're so top heavy. Dak Prescott's the highest paid player in the league, $60 million a year. That's going to affect you. And when that happens, now you're starting to see it.
It's absurd. It's absurd to even think about. The more I think about these salaries, the more I wish there was just like a pay scale. You get so much for this, you get so much for that, based on your performance. I'm already tired of paying. No, I'm not paying them. Although, in essence, we are paying them as fans.
Without a doubt.
So I am getting tired of paying players, and then they don't come through on their contracts. And we see it in every sport.
Yeah,
and this is no different. I mean, what justifies giving Dak Prescott the most money in the league? What justifies that? When you compare him, I'm not comparing him to the best player. I'm putting him down a peg. Yeah. So I don't pay any quarterback more than Patrick Mahomes. He's the standard. There should be no quarterback making more than him. To be honest with you, that's the way I feel. When a contract comes up, I'm not paying you more than Patrick Mahomes until you prove to me that you can win a Super Bowl or prove to me that you can actually win a playoff game. How about that? Let's start there. Because Dak Prescott can't win. He can't win. He's never going to win a Super Bowl. Never. It's not happening. I'm getting a little steamed right now.
I see that. I will say that I agree with you. I don't think Dak's going to win a Super Bowl with the Dallas Cowboys. And again, now you're kind of locked into this contract, so it's not like they can move on from Dak even after this season. Right. So now, whatever coach you bring in, if Mike McCarthy does get fired, is got to figure a way to win with Dak. Can Bill Belichick do it? Who knows? Bill Belichick's only won championships with Tom Brady. We've seen all the other quarterbacks he had. He was not very successful with them. So
no.
Bill Belichick may not be the answer in Dallas either.
No, may not be. No,
all right.
May not be. But you never know.
Yeah, you never know. If you have an opinion on Dallas Cowboys, you're joining us live, let us know. Is this the end of the Dallas Cowboys era here? What we're seeing, let us know. We're going to continue to talk some NFL, Ron, and we're going to talk about the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Apparently not Ayuk.
Did they make a mistake signing Trevor Lawrence to a max deal for the 5-year, $275 million? He's making $55 million per year, which is the second highest in the league.
We just talked about this, right? Of course they made a mistake. What has he done? What has he done? I'm getting tired of all these quarterbacks just raking it in and doing absolutely nothing. Hey, how about this? Let's start with people that win Super Bowls in this league right now. We have Patrick Mahomes. Matthew Stafford is 1-1. Aaron Rodgers is 1-1. That's it. No one else has won squat. None of them. All a bunch of BS, contract taking, money. You name it. I'm just so fed up with all these quarterbacks that want this and want that, and they do absolutely jack when it comes time to show what you can do. You know, I mean, the only hope this year is maybe Josh Allen might be able to do something, right? That's the hope. Or Jackson in Baltimore. You know, who else? You think Hurts is going to win one? Not with their coaching staff. They can't put a plan together and follow through on it. They go into the first half, they get trounced in the first half, say, then they don't make any adjustments. Because you know why? Because the coach can't make any.
But this is where you run into the issue, too, because Brock Purdy's going to come up as well soon.
Yeah.
How much do you pay Brock Purdy?
Oh, yeah, he's going to get like $65 million.
Right, which think about it.
Worth it.
And think about it. So, obviously, Jacksonville 0-3 to start the season in third place in the division. Trevor Lawrence's numbers, 52.8% completion percentage. It's actually 11 points lower than his career average. He's only thrown for 560 yards, 6.3 yards per attempt, which is down, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Ron, here's the number that you're going to love most of all. $55 million a year. Sign the deal. Career record, 20-33.
Don't forget, he's got his name on the building, too.
20-33, Ron, is his career record.
Yeah, 20-33, $55 million. Yeah, that makes sense. Makes sense.
That one blows my mind. Blows my mind.
I mean, you just look at all these quarterbacks, right? Kyler Murray, he's done nothing. He stinks, too. Deshaun Watson, now they think, maybe we should, bench him. You know, this is a guy that you just paid incredible amount of money that is guaranteed after all the allegations, mind you, trading away future picks and stuff for this guy that has done nothing. Nothing.
No, I agree with you, my friend. I'm going to tell you this too. So here is hold on one second.
This is why Minnesota's 3-0.
You will, yeah, Sam Darnold, right? I'm going to name off the top 5 quarterbacks right now getting paid. Dak Prescott, number 1, $60 million. Trevor Lawrence, 55. We talked about. Joe Burrow, 55. Jordan Love, 55, and Tua, 53.1. You know what all of those guys have in common?
Disgusting.
The only one with a winning record is Dak. Jordan Love's out. Tua's out. Trevor Lawrence 0-3. Joe Burrow 0-3. Those are your highest paid quarterbacks in the league.
Yeah.
Something
It's a
wrong.
joke, isn't it?
Something's
It's a
wrong with
joke.
the NFL. They're
And
so
it's going to
afraid.
it's going to catch up with them.
They're so afraid. So think about this. We criticize New England, Mac Jones, but think about what they did. They said, I'm not going to invest in a quarterback that I'm not sure about. A lot of these teams are so afraid to get rid of a guy because they don't think they could find somebody else that they pay these guys this kind of money. And then ultimately you realize that the results don't happen anyway. 20-33. He's already given you enough of a sample size to say he's not a winning quarterback. He's gotten you to the playoffs once. What are they doing?
And that was because of another team backing out. Right? The Chargers should have been in that playoffs. And they just failed down the stretch. Remember losing to Indianapolis and costing them the So they happened to get lucky to make the playoffs. You know, personally, Trevor Lawrence has done absolutely zero to make him be the second highest paid. And at one point he was the highest paid.
Yeah, before
it lasted a hot minute, but still, you know, it's just mind-boggling. I like these quarterbacks absolutely stinking up the joint, and they're getting paid so much money where those teams could have turned around and used that money defensively and probably would have won championships.
You may be right. You may be right. I think Jacksonville's going to regret this.
Too.
Oh, that's good.
They're going to regret it. They named the building after the crappy ass quarterback as it is.
How do you really feel about Trevor Lawrence?
He sucks.
Ron, is there any games of interest for week 4 that we should be looking for?
Not Jacksonville's.
Come on, why not?
Not Jacksonville's. I mean, it's terrible. It's terrible. So I don't know. Let's see. Let's take a gander on there's actually some really good games this week. I have put a little star next to 4 of them.
Yeah, I have 4 as well.
There's an echo. Really?
Just a little bit. Just a little bit, my friend, when I talk.
Maybe it's because I'm screaming so loud.
Maybe.
I don't know. So looking at this, I think the best one for me would probably be Kansas City and the Chargers right now.
Oh, I don't even have that one. Justin Herbert hurt.
Is he?
Yeah, I don't know if he's going to play. I'm not. Yeah, and then they got some. They've really banged up the Chargers.
Oh, then I would go with Seattle, Detroit. Then if he's out,
I have Seattle, Detroit as one of mine. Right, Seattle undefeated. It's a big game for them. Right, and the Lions still haven't looked like the Lions. Dan Campbell again, fourth down, still doing his stupidity. The guy didn't learn. He didn't learn.
No, he didn't learn.
He didn't learn. I had Eagles at the Bucks. The Buccaneers, that's a big matchup because both of these teams 2-1. This is playoff positioning. And again, Tampa Bay surprising me right now. Baker Mayfield and what he's doing over there.
Yeah. Maybe he deserves the $60 million.
It might get it next time. His next contract.
Oh, he will. He will. He'll get it next time. If they win this game, they'll probably shell out $70 million a year for him.
It's coming. There'll be $100 million player at some point, Ron. Be ready.
Oh yeah, it's coming.
Be ready.
It's coming.
What
I also
else?
like that Buffalo-Baltimore game.
I have that game.
Oof.
Buffalo, listen.
I told you, don't sleep on them.
Number 1 in the Sports Unfolded NFL rankings this week. Let's see if they hold on to that. But honestly, Josh Allen has actually matured by getting rid of Stephon Diggs.
Yeah.
So that's big.
Yeah.
That's big.
Josh Allen's playing so well right now.
Yeah.
And if there's a team, and believe me, I don't like any team, especially in the division. But I like Josh Allen, and I'd like to see him win a Super Bowl.
Agreed.
He's got a shot at it.
How many times the Bills come up short? Like, it'd be nice to see them
all the time.
Right?
All the time.
Right?
All the time.
I have one more, and that's Vikings at Packers. Minnesota.
Yeah, I get that one too.
Right? Minnesota, listen, they go 4-0.
Sam Donald's going to be $70 million too.
Right. Jordan Love might play. He might be back in that game as well, so that'll be interesting. Listen, Minnesota's for real. Brian Flores, what he's doing with their defense as well. We talk about Sam Darnold, but the defense on Minnesota has been phenomenal as well. So,
yeah, where did Brian Flores coach before?
I think Miami and New England. It could be.
That's right. That's where the name sounds.
Some guy,
familiar.
Belichick.
Didn't I tell you somebody should have hired him?
He's got too much baggage, my friend.
Yeah, it's because of that Miami baggage.
Yeah. So I don't know. James, thanks for joining. Chicago suckers. Yes, they do, my friend. Yes, they do. You missed that whole conversation, James.
Yeah, it's convenient how you came on just after we,
he was probably waiting it out. He was waiting that one out.
He's like, I know they're going to talk about him.
All right. Some great conversation. If you have any opinions on the NFL games of the week, let us know what you think as well.
What's interesting? New Orleans, Atlanta.
Oh, you had one more. Okay,
I know Atlanta. I just said that Atlanta is just trying to find themselves, really. But
we talked that NFC South do the Saints bounce back, right? Or is what we saw now what they are against the Eagles?
Yeah.
Right. So it'll be interesting to see. That'll be a fun one. That will be a fun one. All right. Speaking of fun, this starting 5 is going to be pretty fun. Let's move on to our starting 5. Look at us promoting the I
was thinking of just sliding that ESPN little left.
I like it. But our starting 5 is our sports video games. So this was fun. Brought back a lot of memories for me.
Yeah, it did.
So
Pong, right?
Pong. Oh, I love Pong. I had Pong.
Because technically they're sports,
Yeah, see, look at Mario Strikers.
Squash, hockey, and tennis and stuff like that.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so basically how our starting 5 works, we're going to give you our starting 5 from 5 to 1. But before that, we give you honorable mentions. I am first, so I will start us off. FIFA was a big series, and when that started off, so from a soccer standpoint, kind of got me into soccer a little bit, playing FIFA. Madden 95, and I'm talking old Madden, where they had the 3 boxes on the top, and then somebody'd get hurt, and the ambulance would come out and have to pick the guy up. Like, I'm talking old school Madden. MLB The Show, I thought they did a really good job with. It was one of the better baseball games recently done. And then one of the fan favorites, buddy, Blades of Steel. You cannot go wrong with Blades of Steel as one of my honorable mentions. Could not crack the list because there's a better hockey game that was out there, but Blades of Steel was one of my favorites.
All right, so I have NBA Jam from 1993, right?
Yeah.
I also have Nintendo Ice Hockey.
Ooh, that was a good one.
1988,
the skinny guys and the kind of heavy set, and then they would fight.
Yeah.
And that. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it was great. I loved it, right? And then I realized, you know what? 1987 was the best year for sports video games because all 4 of those games made it to my list. Tecmo Bowl,
Okay.
honorable mention.
Yeah.
Mike Tyson's Punch Out,
Yep.
also 1987. Double Dribble, how
Double
great
Dribble.
was that?
Double Dribble.
Oh, I loved it. 1987. And of course, you mentioned Blades of Steel was also 1987.
Yeah.
All on my
All right.
honorable mentions. I really went nostalgia for most of this.
No, I did. I kind of stuck it. I stuck to just sports, like official sports games. That's why I left some of them out. Like it had to have a sports. So.
Oh, you just official leagues.
Yeah, like more that way.
Yeah, I didn't leave it for that. I went for the gameplay.
All really good ones. All right, so I'm starting us off at number 5 for me. Baseball Stars, 1989 NES game. It was one of the first games that actually did averages, batting averages,
I used to play it all the time.
Loved it because I always wanted to see what's my guy's ERA and what's this guy's batting average. And
it was so easy to play, and it was so fun. I used to play that game with my uncle all the time.
Yeah, right. It was a great game. Great game. Loved it.
That
is. Was my number 5. What'd you have at 5?
Good choice. Number 5, I have Wii Sports. I just loved the bowling. The
bowling was amazing.
Oh my god!
Did you bowl a 300?
So good.
Did you ever bowl a 300? This guy did. This guy did.
No, I think my highest was like 275.
Bowling, baby. Like and even when I was maybe had a few adult beverages, still was one of the
absolutely.
Top
well, that's what you're supposed to do bowling anyway,
right?
So I liked it because of that Wii bowling.
That and the home run. The home run derby was always fun too.
Yes.
On Wii Sports. Yes.
Absolutely.
Wii Sports. Blitz the League was a good one, James. Yeah.
Yes, it was.
Right? You'd have to shoot the guy up with the needle.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
Yeah. I almost put that on my list.
Is a very good one.
Different, right? To me, it was almost like that NBA Jam kind of thing.
Lots of steroids in that game. And then you had to make a decision. You could shoot the guy up, but more likely to get hurt, but you keep him playing. Yeah, that was a good one. At 4 for me, I had NBA Jam. 1994 SNES. Loved NBA Jam. He's on fire. You can't still to this day.
Shaq and Penny.
Right? Oh my goodness. From Orlando, right? There was so many. Sean Kemp. Goodness.
Oh,
NBA Jam for me made my list.
Payton?
Yes, it was Gary Payton.
Yep. Right?
Yep. I think Reggie Lewis was with Boston. It was Reggie Lewis, D. Brown.
Yeah.
What do you got at 4?
Number 4, I have ESPN NFL 2K5. I mean, they got it right. I mean, that's arguably the best sports game, period. And it's probably in the top 50, video games.
And I think that was
they got it right. It was everything. The faces.
Yep.
I mean, yes, the graphics weren't as great as it is today, but they've gotten a lot of things wrong today. It's just not good. And I think the fun factor, along with the quality at that time, was impeccable.
Yeah.
Impeccable.
No, agreed. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, another very good one.
Pro Skater, yes.
Very good one. Very good.
I had that on my list, trying to figure out where I'm going to put it. I thought Pro Skater 2 was better, though.
All right. So at 3 for me, Tony La Russa Baseball, 1993 Sega Genesis. So when you bought the game, it came with actual cards that for each team with batting averages versus right-handers versus left-handers. Me and my buddy were in my basement playing this thing nonstop, and you'd get the card out to say, all right, if I wanted a pinch hit, who hit better against a lefty versus a righty? Like, it had everything possible in that game. It was phenomenal. It was such a good game. Tony La Russa Baseball, main mine, number 3.
Very good. You know what? I'm looking at my list. I didn't even have a baseball game there.
2.
Number 3, NHL 94. The best hockey game. I mean, it was perfect. It was perfect. You know, there's still leagues and tournaments going for that game.
Absolutely. I could see that. We did one back in the day,
Yeah, we
bro.
did.
Back in
Yeah,
the
we
day.
did. That's right.
NHL 94 was my number 2. It made it my
You did it
number
at
two.
number 2. Yeah.
And listen, think about it. I'm not a hockey guy. That game, I wanted to play that so bad every night because it was just such a good game. They did such a good job with that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
I used to play it all the time. All the time.
Couldn't stop. Number 2 for you.
Number 2 for me is Super Mario Strikers. Right there. That is the best soccer game. I don't care what anybody tells you. That is the best soccer game. It is so fun. And you know what? Because it's made by Nintendo, those graphics are still incredible. They hold up to this day, and that was on GameCube in 2005. So we're talking 19 years, and the graphics still look amazing.
That was a good one.
Mario Strikers.
Any of the Marios too. Mario Golf was a good one.
Yeah.
There were some good ones. I love James liked it. My number 1 though, has to be by far the greatest football game ever made. Tecmo Super Bowl 1991 NES. That thing was amazing. We had leagues for money. I did newsletters. I was putting my. I mean, this thing was like taking over my life.
I remember that.
Took over my life. I love it. I still play it today. Like whenever I'm really bored, I'm like, you know what? What do I feel like? I'm throwing Tecmo Super Bowl on, and I still love it to this day.
It's a great game. It's a great game. Without that, there's no Madden.
No, not at all. Right.
My number one, I don't know if you're going to be happy with this, but I think James is going to be happy with this. And I'll tell you, it is probably the most fun you could possibly ever have playing a video game. And that is Mario Kart Double Dash. Racing, my friend. That is so much fun.
Didn't see that one coming.
You could be up in the front, and then all of a sudden you get hit with the blue shell and you lose, and you come in last place. And it's just complete chaos when you play. I love it. Love it. Love it. Love it.
Another great game to play with adult players until you end up realizing that you're just stuck in a wall and not actually going anywhere. Which may or may not have happened to me at some point in the past. Just, I'm like, wow.
I'm
not
God.
moving.
Love Double Dash.
Right?
Yes, James. I knew you would like this one.
So many great sports games. We left a lot out.
Oh God,
that was a good one.
I mean, I have a whole list of all kinds.
Yeah, my goodness.
You know, and I just wanted to get in there. And usually I try to only have like the 5 honorable mentions, and I had 6 in there because I couldn't leave those out.
Yeah,
all this nostalgia. Game. I mean, I don't have anything in the past, I don't know, 15 years.
Yeah. Everybody, what's the oldest game I had? 94 NHL.
Yep. Yeah. Mine is might be Mario Strikers 2005.
Yeah. That's crazy. What a good. That was fun. Ron, it is time to talk some NBA. But before we get into the NBA, do you want to bring up the NBA nominees for the Sports Unfolded Hall of Fame?
Sure, Eric, I can do that.
So
there we go.
Go on to Sports Unfolded Sports Poll page now. I was trying to. I don't know.
Yeah, I can switch you so you can feel like comfortable talking.
Sports Unfolded Sports Poll page on Facebook right now. Polls are open. Help elect the next inductee into the Sports Unfolded Hall of Fame. Those nominees are Julius Erving, Moses Malone, Walt Frazier, George Gervin, and Bill Walton. This is a very tough one.
Good luck with that.
Yeah, and Julius Erving currently leading the votes. So,
there we go. Dr. J
is leading the votes. But go to Sports Unfolded Sports Poll page. It is a public page. You can actually follow that page as well, so that anytime we do put up the polls, you'll be able to get those directly to you. But help vote for the next inductee into the Sports Unfolded Hall of Fame.
Oh, you want this part too?
And then currently in the Basketball Hall of Fame, Bill Russell, Charles Barkley, Irvin Johnson, Larry Bird, Michael Jordan, Charles Barkley, just the most recent inductee into the Sports Unfolded Hall of Fame. So help get another person in there.
That's right. That's right.
Your vote.
All right, get back over there.
Oh, where I belong. All right, so NBA, Ron, we're going to talk a little bit about Derrick Rose, who has decided to retire from the NBA after 17 seasons. Yes, every rose has its thorn, right? Would you consider Derrick Rose a Hall of Famer?
No. No, I wouldn't. I mean, he hasn't really done much of anything except for be hurt all the time.
But that 17.4 points per game, 3.2 assists, 5.2 rebounds, 3-time All-Star, 1-time All-NBA, Rookie of the Year, and an MVP.
No.
I don't. It's. Listen, I think the problem is you knew how good he could have been.
Yeah,
and that's where it gets.
Mean that it doesn't mean that you elect him because he could have been good.
Yeah, I know, buddy. I know, but I don't know. ACL injury in 2012-13 pretty much derailed his career. He just was never the same.
I mean, for that matter, if you take some of those players like Len Bias, he could have been a great player. You elect him into the Hall of Fame?
Wow. He didn't even play a game in the NBA. You can't.
Yeah, I know that. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
All right. So, Ron, he played for 7 teams, Derrick Rose. Do you know what 7 teams they were?
Oh, God. Chicago for one.
Chicago was his first team. Yep. Rookie of the Year.
I want to say it was the Knicks.
New York was the next team. Very good.
I mean, what if I just say a team? The chances are he played for them.
7. I mean, you got a good odds.
I don't know. Let's just go with. I know he played for somebody out west.
Did not.
No. Wow. So then we'll say Detroit because now
he did play with Detroit.
All right. Toronto. How about Toronto?
No.
Oh, damn. All right. Let me think of. Think
of someone who left
Miami?
a team. No. Think of somebody who left a team.
He played in Cleveland?
Yes. Remember they thought maybe I was going to Minnesota. He went back to New York and then finished the
conference. Yeah.
And then he finished. Oh, I thought you meant like West Coast.
No, Western Conference.
Oh, and then New York again. He went and then he ended his career with Memphis last year.
Yeah, again, man, but I knew he ended it with a Western Conference team. I was trying to reshuffle, and I knew it was a team that had some skill on it, and couldn't remember.
Yeah, again, think about that team all beat up and injured this last year, Memphis. Well, it was a good career. I would say a solid career. Regardless, it was a solid
career. He could have been a great. It just didn't work out for him that way, And I don't consider him a Hall of Famer. It's unfortunate because I liked him as a player.
Yeah.
But you had to actually have him play.
Yep. So every rose does have its thorn, Ron.
It does. It's called Ron.
Yeah, we know.
So I got myself some good numbers coming today.
Look at
already
that.
What? Insulting the Cowboys, insulting Trevor Lawrence. Insulting.
You weren't even insult. You were so passionate about Trevor Lawrence that
I can't. You know what it is? I take a look at Trevor Lawrence and I just think he's just a pretty boy. And, it's like he thinks that everything has to come to him easy. I don't know. When you watch those movies and you have those snotty little rich kids, that's what he looks like to me, and I really don't like it.
I can't. It's so hard to tell. It really is.
I just don't like him. I don't like him. I don't like that draft, period. Because they're all failing.
Yeah. One more NBA story out of the WNBA. So the Indiana Fever, they lost their first round matchup to the Connecticut Sun. Should they consider this season a disappointment based on all of the hype that was surrounding the team?
Absolutely not. I mean, yeah, there was all kinds of hype, but you know what? They had a great year. They came out of the basement of the league to make the playoffs. And they have a superstar in Caitlin Clark. Now, when you draft next year, that person is going to be stepping into a role where she's going to be helped by Caitlin Clark, and those two have to be compatible.
Yeah.
And, they got something here. I mean, look, I think Caitlin Clark is already one of the best players in the league. And I think within 2 years, she will be the best player in the league.
Yeah, look, she made such strides. She broke tons of records, right? Expectation, the hype was real. I agree with you there, Ron. 20-20 this season. First time they were 500 since 2016, so 8 years ago.
Right.
And that was the last time they made the postseason. So, again, they're on the right track. Aaliyah Boston, Caitlin Clark. I really think that they have such good chemistry. They continue to grow. He's going to be the draft for them now. How do they draft? What do they draft to try to help that team? Caitlin Clark with the turnovers, she improves next season, I believe, because I think this was more of a feel out year, and believe it or not, feeling it out, she still did pretty damn well. So
and a lot of those turnovers came very early in the season too.
Yeah, she definitely
started cleaning that up as well.
What, first rookie ever to have a triple double? First rookie to most points scored, most 3-pointed. Like, she broke so many records.
Everything and barriers, right? She actually made it and had help with fellow rookie, Angela
Reese. Yeah.
Angela Reese. Those two combined just brought in like all the fans from the NBA, that made this game very, very attractive to sponsors, to everything. Everybody was flocking to this league, when Caitlin Clark came into it. And the competitiveness between her and Angela Reese was just awesome. They improved this league tremendously, those two being added to the league.
Yeah.
And Indiana they should have no problem coming back next year, holding their head high and aiming for higher next time.
Absolutely.
I mean, they went up against Connecticut, and they're good.
Yeah. No.
It's good luck.
At the end of the day, you see the growth of the league. That team, definitely has got a lot of potential now that you may not have thought about in the past. So, be very proud of where they finished. And I think, sky's the limit for them. And not the Chicago Sky, by the way. All right. I have to throw that in there. Ron, let's talk some Major League Baseball. Some of your favorite teams. Obviously, the postseason right around the corner, Ron. About a week away. Which team needs to win it all? Which team it's more critical that they win it all this year?
Kansas City.
Besides the New York Yankees and the LA Dodgers, those are the two teams we're going to talk about. Kansas City would be
I just noticed that because the Yankees are like a dark color, it's not showing up very well on it. So,
So the New York Yankees and the Los Angeles Dodgers, if you had to decide which team it's more important to win it all this season, which one would it be?
Oh, it's absolutely the Dodgers. Absolutely the Dodgers. The money they've spent is absolutely imperative.
They're the fifth highest payroll, the Dodgers.
But that's fake. We all know that. We already discussed that before.
Ron,
that they have a fake payroll.
Who's number 2 in the league? Oh, that would be the New York Yankees.
Yes.
So to me,
who's number 1?
No, the Mets. Believe it or not. But think about it. Second highest payroll in baseball.
They're still paying that guy $1 million a year.
And Bobby Bonilla, baby. And last time the Yankees won a championship, 2009. Dodgers, 2020. So if you think about it.
Look, I get that. And I understand that they need to win one. Well, they don't need to win one. They've won plenty.
27.
But when you, what was that? I didn't hear.
2-7. Yes, 2-7.
Yeah. They might not win till at least 2027. Right.
Oh, okay. All right. Here we go.
So anyway, I just think because the Dodgers have spent so much money and the expectation is there, they need to win, or they're going to have a little bit of egg on their face. You know, I don't.
See, it's got to be the Yankees, my friend. And if you think about it,
I don't agree with it.
Again, second highest payroll. Here's where it has to be the Yankees, because they are literally blowing this season away with the fact that they did not re-sign Juan Soto, and they're going to lose him after this season. You cannot afford to not win it this year, because you're not going to have Juan Soto next year. That it's so critical this season for them to win it, because they blew this deal of re-signing him, and now
you know where he's going to end up, right?
Boston. They talked to Boston might get him.
Maybe that's why they didn't spend any money all year long.
I'm sure they're going to make a push for him. I mean, he's clearly one of the best baseball players in the league, right? So if you have him judge right now, and this is your last opportunity, it's so critical for them to win it, because who's replacing Soto next season? The Dodgers are still going to have all their guys back. Ohtani's back and probably going to be pitching. Freeman's back. Mookie Betts is back. All these guys are back. The Yankees right now don't have that luxury. They need to win it right now.
I mean, looking at it through that way, yeah, I get that. And they haven't won in quite a while. Have they won this century?
2009.
Oh, okay. So there. So they did. 2009. 15 years is a long time for the Yankees, huh?
That's what I'm saying. There's so much riding that on New York, and then you think about it.
You better hope it's not an 80+ year drought.
Oh, I can't. Orioles, Guardians, Astros, all in the American League. They could all beat them. I don't know. But then I go look at the pitching. 6th best ERA in baseball. The Yankees.
Yeah,
I wouldn't have thought.
I look at that Houston team and it's like, aren't you afraid of Houston?
I am. I'm afraid of the Orioles. Look what they did this weekend with them.
Because they do it all the time.
Look at the last 3 games, the Yankees. They won 1 out of 3.
Yeah.
And Baltimore crushed them. Listen, you know the crazy thing, too? I looked up the batting averages, team batting average. They're 9th overall at 249, Ron. 9th. They're in the top 10 in batting. You know who's the worst? Chicago White Sox, 221. Imagine that, dude. They're almost batting under 200. What has happened in baseball? What happened to hitting in baseball?
I remember years when the Red Sox would lead the league in batting, and they'd have like a 277 batting average for a team batting average. Of course, that helps when you had Wade Boggs. But
you think about it.
I mean, they've always had the best batting average.
Yeah, it's such a different league now.
Yeah. Now.
Crazy. All right, Ron. Are you ready to do split decisions? Let's do it. Our split decision segment, basically, we give each other 2 more likely questions, and you got to make a decision. I am first this week, so I will start us off. Ron, my first split decision. Who, with the NBA season right around the corner, they're already in camp. Who is more likely to lead the Boston Celtics in scoring this season? Jason Tatum, who averaged 26.9 points per game last season, or Jaylen Brown, who averaged 23 points per game last season?
I think it's going to be Jaylen Brown.
It could be, right? It could be.
Like, I'm thinking, how did the Celtics win the championship? And that was Tatum sacrificing. I think he's going to do a little more of that. And I think Brown is going to be so angry from not being in the Olympics.
Right? I think so.
But I also think Tatum is going to be really angry that he didn't play much in the Olympics.
It's a tough one.
This is why I think the Celtics are going to repeat, because I think you have two angry superstars that want to show the league who they are.
Yeah.
And
that wasn't
they're
a fluke,
both going
right?
to be looking for an MVP. I think they both want one.
Yeah. Jaylen Brown for you. Okay. All right.
Jaylen Brown.
First split decision, Ron. What are you at?
All right. So I will go NFL. Which coach will more likely be the first to be fired? Mike McCarthy, Brian Daboll, Zach Taylor, Raheem Morris, or Dave Canales?
Canales got lucky with Andy Dalton. Buys him a few more weeks. Raheem Morris, I think, is good for the year. I think that no matter what happens, just because of the Bill Belichick screw up, them not hiring him. Which leaves me McCarthy, Taylor, and
Daboll.
And
if you want, you can even throw Sirianni in there.
Daboll, I don't think gets fired. I think they're going to look at it and that you think it's going mid-season, James. But I think the general manager screwed that up by re-signing Daniel Jones, and I don't think you can hold that against Daboll. Because they're competitive. I mean,
you can if he's the one that said he wanted him.
Mike McCarthy, I could see it more. I don't think Zach Taylor goes anywhere this year, but I could see McCarthy more the midseason cut. Just because I think there's so much surrounding the Dallas Cowboys, and especially this next 6 weeks. If they go into this next 6 weeks and they don't win many of these games, I mean, people are going to want him gone. So I'd go Mike McCarthy on that.
Okay.
That was
very
good.
Nice.
That was a good one. My second split decision, also NFL, my friend. Which first-time nominee to the NFL Hall of Fame is more likely to get in? Eli Manning, Marshawn Lynch, or Adam Vinatieri?
To be honest with you, I don't think any of them should go in first ballot because there's too many other good players that are on this list. But I'm gonna say Marshawn Lynch.
No way. A running back over a quarterback.
Yep.
I don't think so.
I don't think Eli's getting in first.
Two championships, I'm telling you, is gonna weigh.
There's no way.
They think like you, Ron. Championships matter.
Wait. If he does get in first ballot, it's rigged. And then, the NFL is dirty. Oh, wait. We already know they're dirty.
Come on. Not the NFL. Not the NFL.
Yeah, the NFL.
What do you have for your
They're
second?
As dirty as they come. My second is a good one. You're going to love this. Who is more likely to set a franchise record in goals in one season? More likely to do it. Connor McDavid, David Pasternak, Steven Stamkos, or Mikko Rantanen?
I'm taking Stamkos out because of his age. Where did he go, though? I forgot where
He's
signed.
In
Nashville.
Do you want me to make it a little?
Do you have the records?
Do you want me to make it easier for you?
What's the first of all? Wait a minute. No, time out. Connor McDavid, he's got to beat Wayne Gretzky's records, which isn't going to happen. So definitely not McDavid, huh?
Gretzky has 92.
Okay, he's not beating Gretzky. So McDavid.
Well, did he get like 64?
That's gonna be close. What's Boston?
He's 30 more.
Only 30. What's Pasternak? What's Boston's?
All right, so David Pasternak has to beat Phil Esposito's 76.
Ooh, that's still a lot, but all right. And then Rantanen.
Mikko Rantanen. He has to beat Michel Goulet when he played in Quebec because it's that.
Yeah.
Michel Goulet, 57.
I'm going with 57, dude.
You want me to give you the numbers on Steven Stamkos?
Nashville, because they're not. Yeah, they might be. Okay, what's Nashville's?
So Forsberg broke it this past season with 48.
You dirty dog. But I don't know. Stamkos is still. He's up there.
He got
what did he score? How many goals did he have last season?
40, I believe.
Stamkos?
That's a tough one.
Yeah, but Nashville talent versus where he was.
And
Tampa,
you look at the other two, it's like
Tampa.
those are the sexy picks, right?
Yeah.
Pasternak and Connor McDavid, right?
Yeah. McDavid, I'm not in. Yeah, McDavid's on it. Yeah. But I would say, yeah, now you might have changed my mind. You may have changed my mind. I think I would go with Stamkos.
Do you want me to go a little further?
Sure.
Mikko Rantanen had 55.
So he only needs 2, and he would tie it. Oh, now you made it even harder because you pretty much sold me on Stamkos.
That's why I did this on purpose because I knew every clue I gave you would make it worse.
I'm going Rantanen. Rantanen, more talent around him. I think it's easier for him to get goals.
It's a good one, isn't it?
So that was really good. I like the way you kind of mind twisted me there. That was pretty good.
Yeah,
that was pretty good. All right, we're going to talk some NHL now, Ron. Austin Matthews, he suffered an upper body injury. He sat out their preseason game. Should the Toronto Maple Leafs be concerned?
What did he get? Did he cut himself shaving or something?
Did
he try to shave off his mustache and he cut himself?
Oh, that mustache! You like that stash? Stop it!
I hate the stash.
You couldn't grow that stash. That's
you gotta have a stash. Do a handlebar. You know.
Oh, you like those
Wally fingers?
Wally fingers, yeah.
None of this lame porn star kind of mustache.
Wow. 80s porn though. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not
I mean, come on.
It's not the new stuff. The new stuff it's not the same.
Look, he's already back at practice,
I'm just saying, listen. He has not played 82 games other than once in his career. And that was his rookie year. Right. Last year, he did play 81. But in between that, he's averaged between missing 20-plus games to 30-plus games.
Yep.
That's where I would start to get concerned because this guy has a tendency to miss games. And if you're talking about preseason, mustache, yes, hashtag mustache. Preseason, I would start to be concerned already.
No, what they should be concerned about is the fact that they still have nobody on the back end and nobody in net. That's the biggest concern.
Maybe they'll have Jeremy Swayman.
Matthews sat out a couple of days from preseason.
Do they have $8 million to spend on Jeremy Swayman?
8. They need 10.
You think he's asking for 10 now?
Yeah, I think that's what he wants.
Yikes!
He's not going to get it.
So no concerns. You're not worried.
Of course, I have concerns. Look, if they have him, I think they can win a cup. If they don't have him, they'll get bounced in the first round, but they'll still have a great regular season. Does that make any sense?
Most wins, right?
I like what I've seen so far from Korpisalo, and I like what I've seen so far from DiPietro. Don't like what I saw from Bussy, though.
You made a point of saying that the defense is one of the top-ranked defenses in front of the goalie this season in the NHL. So does it really matter who's in the pipes?
I don't think so during regular season.
So, again, does this hurt Swayman in the long run if Boston's successful?
Yes. Yeah.
So what does he do? He sits out the year?
December 1st. If he doesn't sign by December 1st, he has to sit the whole year. That's the NHL rules.
Wow.
So if he doesn't sign, see ya, Swayman. Right? He will not play this year. And then if he thinks that he's going to get 10 million next year from somebody, think again, because they're not going to do it. You know, I can see somebody paying 8, and the Bruins will probably pay 8. They can't go over 8.6 because then you have to trade somebody.
Right. So what I'm hearing and what's been Don Sweeney and all this, $6 million is what they offered.
Yeah, probably like 6.5 or something like that is probably what they did offer, and which is, you know, double of what he was getting paid already last year.
I get it, but his numbers and what Samsonov with the Islanders, is that Samsonov?
Yeah,
am I right? 8.5. So he wants to stay in that range, and his numbers are very comparable.
But I think he's asking for too much because they traded away Allmark, and now he's asking for too much, and now he doesn't want to back down from that. And he's going to have a problem because no team can sign him for that. Unless you're like Utah. Utah would have to sign him. Like anybody can go and sign him right now, but then the Bruins can match it. And if they don't match it, then they get compensated in draft picks. And I know a while back it was like you give somebody $2 million, it's like a number 1 pick. But that was a while ago. So I don't know what it is now. They would probably lose at least 2 first-round draft picks if they signed them. Okay. And I would take that in a heartbeat if I'm the Bruins with a Utah team.
We'll see. All right, Ron, before we move on to our pick and roll, can you bring up the nominees for the Tennis Sports Unfolded Hall of Fame?
I could.
All right, so join the Sports Unfolded Sports Poll page on Facebook. Right now, poll is open to elect the next nominee or the next inductee into the Sports Unfolded Hall of Fame, and that would be Bjorn Borg, Stefan Edberg, Boris Becker, John McEnroe, Yvonne Lendl. They are up right now. John McEnroe leading that group. But if you want, you cast the vote. You cast the votes. This is voted on by the fans, for the fans. Sports Unfolded Hall of Fame. So you have an opportunity to get one of these gentlemen into the Sports Unfolded Hall of Fame. So cast your vote. Sports Unfolded Sports Poll page open now. So check it out.
There's some really good tennis players right there. Bjorn Borg, I think, was number 1 like the longest of that decade.
McEnroe's always been a fan favorite.
Yeah. Oh, I love him.
All right, Ron, you ready for some pick and roll?
Oh, wait. You want to give the
tennis currently in Martina Navratilova and Pete Sampras. So who joins them in a Sports Unfolded Hall of Fame? Arthur Ashe did not make it in, neither did Billie Jean King. So somebody will be joining them as well.
Yep.
Yeah, so
kind of crazy. A bunch of them will be joining them.
Kind of crazy. Ron, it is time for pick and roll.
It's time for pick and roll.
Episode 39, season 4. Every rose has its thorn. So we try to keep that number rolling. So all these New York Yankee players hit 39 home runs in at least one of their seasons, which led the Yankees that year.
Notice I only put one guy there.
Nice. Yeah.
Because I didn't want to look through too much searches for too many
Austin Matthews. I noticed.
And it would be like
Austin Matthews.
It'd be too much Yankee stuff in my.
And I did notice Austin Matthews didn't make your list, your graphics either. All right, so those players were Mark Teixeira, Roger Maris, Alfonso Soriano, Joe DiMaggio, and Aaron Judge. We've got to rank them from 5 to 1. I am first this week, so I will give you my list, and then Ron, you can let me know if you have something different. At number 5 for me, Alfonso Soriano.
I have something different.
And I wanted to put him up top. I did. And I know what you're going to do. But the reason why I didn't is he just didn't win enough. So 7 All-Stars, 4 Silver Sluggers. He batted 270. He did hit 2,009, 95 hits, 412 home runs, 1,152 runs, and 1,159 RBIs, 289 stolen bases. But he only won 7 All-Star. He only had 7 All-Stars and 4 Silver Sluggers, nothing else. So the reason why I think this guy is probably 5 for you, because I kept flipping them for a bit. Roger Maris, again, batted 260 for his career, 1,325 hits, 25 home runs, only 826 runs, 850 RBI. So you look at the numbers, look low. But 7-time All-Star, same as Sariano, a Gold Glove, 2 MVPs, a Major League Baseball Player of the Year, and he won 3 championships. So I put him ahead of Soriano because of the 3 championships. At 3, Mark Teixeira, batted 268, 1,862 hits, 409 home runs, 1,099 runs, 1,298. Jessica, thanks for joining. 1,298 RBIs. Thanks for following us. We appreciate it. 3-time All-Star, 5 Gold Gloves, 3 Silver Sluggers, and a championship. So went Mark Teixeira. At 2, and the reason why this man's at 2, because if you actually double his numbers, so you think about how long he's played, Aaron Judge, his numbers will surpass all of these guys. Right now, batting 288, 1,026 hits, so he's already at 1,000 hits, 315 home runs, 736 runs, 716 RBIs, 6-time All-Star, 3 Silver Sluggers, a Rookie of the Year, an MVP, and a Major League Baseball Player of the Year. And how I looked at it is if you add about another 3,000 plus hits, which a lot of these guys were in the 6,000, you double his numbers, he's going to be... You mean
at-bats?
At-bats, I'm sorry, yes. That's why I put him at 2. But Joe DiMaggio by far surpassed them all. 325 batting average, 2,014 hits. That's a little disappointing. But 361 home runs, 1,390 runs, 1,537 RBIs, 13-time All-Star, 2 batting titles, 3 MVPs, Major League Baseball Player of the Year, and just 9 championships. Nothing big. So number 1, Joe DiMaggio.
Okay, so you pulled a Ron thing out of your hat this time, and you always criticize me for it, about doubling somebody's numbers because they don't have enough at bats and stuff like that.
He hasn't played long enough yet compared to these other guys.
I know, but I've done that, and you've criticized me for it. But we have the same exact thing. I really thought for sure you had Teixeira above Aaron Judge. So I jumped the gun and I said we have something different, and we have it exactly the same. And you gave exactly the reasons for it, except one little thing. I am not a Mark Teixeira fan. I'm still pissed off that he signed with the Yankees.
He was supposed to go to Boston, though, right?
Yes, he was.
Yeah.
That was messed up.
Yeah.
You know,
the one that surprised me the most was Maris. Like, you think about
his numbers were terrible,
right? They weren't very good. So he had like a span where he was just like, he crushed it.
Great for a couple of years,
but that's it. And
like, I think it was the pressure. He couldn't handle the pressure for potentially breaking some records, and I think that really cost him his career. And I mean, you never know how people are going to react to people in the stands that don't want you to break a record, and that constant heckling and that constant pressure of having to do it. And I mean, he's won World Series. He's won 3 of them, which you might think that might be the problem to can't handle that pressure, but he handled that pressure. He just couldn't handle the other parts of breaking records. And I think that's what really slowed his career down, and he couldn't handle it, and he had to go.
Yeah, how big was Babe Ruth, right? Babe Ruth was such a big legend. They didn't want him breaking his record. They did not. And it was another Yankee. So it wasn't even like if you sat back, you would have thought like, hey, Yankee fans would want another Yankee to break it. No.
Now, if he was in the position of Aaron Judge, how everybody loves this guy, could that have made a difference? I don't know. Might have.
May have, my friend.
But I love Aaron Judge as a player, so he's a guy that I would love to see in Boston. But
that'll never happen.
Know.
Ron, prediction time. Last week, although for NASCAR, James, I don't know if you're still with us. James picked the second place winner. Fourth place I had, you had fifth. So we all picked 3 out of the top 5 on the drive.
Yeah,
that was really impressive.
Which is pretty awesome that we did that. And Kenny's, I don't know where his finished, but he just pulled up now. So
Truex
earlier in the show.
I don't know. Truex, I didn't even see him in the top 10. Bryce, who had joined us last week, came in at 500. At least he's still got a winning record there. But if you are joining us live and you'd like to get your name added to the chart, just pick the games and who you think's going to win and see if you can do better than us. Better than us. So we're going to start off with Major League Baseball, Ron. 9:27. You got the Kansas City Royals at the Atlanta Braves. This has some playoff implications, right? There's only about a week left in the season before the postseason. Isn't that insane to think about? Atlanta really
just like this weekend.
Yeah, October 4th or 5th is start of the playoff postseason.
Okay. Yeah. So I think it's just this weekend.
Yeah. I'm going Atlanta here. I think they really need it. They need it more than the Royals because they are fighting. They're bouncing back and forth.
This is a tough one. How many games back is Atlanta? That's the question.
I think they're tied with the Mets. Let me see. I'll check right now, buddy.
Yeah, because that makes a difference. I know Atlanta has a team that is still pretty good, and they have some great pitching.
Even with all the injuries, they've still found ways to stay relevant here. So the wild card standings in the West, the National League, the West, where Atlanta is 1 game back of Arizona. The Royals currently are 3 games ahead of Minnesota, but they are tied with Detroit for the last spot.
Oh, that's a tough one.
Boston's finally eliminated. Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Sorry, buddy.
Yeah. No, it's I watched 2 games.
So Atlanta 1 game out. Kansas City tied right now.
I'm gonna say I'm gonna take Atlanta. I'm gonna take Atlanta in this.
I went Atlanta as well. So, all right. Anybody out there want to take a pick? Let us know. All right. We also got some WN. Can I say this before we make this pick, Ron? I don't like what the WNBA does with their postseason.
Oh, I don't like it either. Why are the East playing the West?
Right?
It makes no sense.
Because they did it by seeding.
Yeah. Look, if you want to do that, you do it conference-wise. You don't do it interconference because now you got teams traveling all across.
Think about this first matchup, Ron. This should be a championship matchup. It's the Las Vegas Aces at the New York Liberty, game 1 this Sunday. That should have been your championship game.
Yeah.
Best of 5 series. Game 1. Who do you have?
I have New York Liberty.
I'll give you death.
Give me Liberty or give me death.
I went New York as well. Listen, they're the best team in the WNBA right now. And again, they lost to the Aces last year in the championship. So I'm sure this is a big moment for them to get over that hurdle. Also, this Sunday, you got the Connecticut Sun at the Minnesota Lynx. I love the Sun, right? It's my hometown here. They're not even 20 minutes from my house. But I'm going Minnesota. I think Minnesota has really shown that they are a team to be reckoned with in the West, and they've played well all year.
Were they in the playoffs last year?
They were. I think they got bounced, no?
I don't think they were.
No?
Wasn't it Seattle?
I don't know. They just beat somebody.
I don't know. But I'm going Connecticut anyway, so.
Okay. Connecticut.
I'm going Connecticut. I think they win the first game. I'm not saying that they win the series.
Plus
but
Minnesota at home. Lynx at home. All right. Major League Soccer, Ron. 9:28 got Cincinnati, the football club at Cincinnati at Los Angeles Football Club.
All right. So this is a good one because both teams have scored 52 goals this season. And LA has given up 40 and Cincinnati has given up 39.
Wow.
So they are
Pretty
very, very close, right? But I thought, okay, well, LA is at home. And the fact that they have Buwanga, who has 17 goals, tied in second. And then they also have Bogus. Don't know if I'm saying his name right. But
Grey Goose.
he's got 14 goals. He's got 14 goals this season. So they have 2 goal scorers that are proven to get the goals. And I think in a game this tight, I think one of those guys steps up and gets the winning goal, and I'm going to go with LA.
All right. I went Cincinnati here, so I think it's second best record in the Eastern Conference, right behind Miami. So they're playing good soccer.
Yes,
I went Cincinnati.
Football
now, NFL football. 9:29. We've got the Buffalo Bills at the Baltimore Ravens. Ron,
the Buffalo Bills.
Listen, I really like Buffalo, but I feel Baltimore at home. I think they figured some things out against Dallas. I think Baltimore needs this game more than Buffalo does. I think they play a little harder. I went Baltimore.
I also went Baltimore on this one. Look, I think Baltimore came and went to Dallas and took care of business against that crap team. And I think they're ready to go. Yes, exactly. And I also went Baltimore in this, and I like Buffalo, like you said. I like Buffalo a lot, but to go into Baltimore and try to win when you have the pressure now of staying undefeated.
Yeah, good point. Also, this Sunday, Philadelphia Eagles at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Yeah, this is a good one. This is tough because I think Philly is way more talented. But Tampa Bay has been playing really well. But they did lose a game that they possibly could have won. So I'm going to go Philly in this. Oh, it's not a strong feeling, though.
Yeah, I went Philly as well. I felt the same way. A couple of injuries on Philadelphia. A.J. Brown, maybe no Devontae Smith as well. But I'm hearing weather, obviously, down in that area with the rain and everything that's happening. Saquon Barkley could have a massive game in this. So I went Philadelphia. Monday night, Ron. Seattle's
not comfortable with it, though.
Yeah, no, I hear you. Monday night game, Seattle Seahawks at the Detroit Lions.
Yeah, I'm impressed with Seattle's record this year. I mean, 3-0, but again, I mean, who they played?
They played a stout New England team. I tried so hard to keep a straight face.
And they played Miami, didn't they?
Yeah.
Without
Tua. Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm going Detroit.
Yeah, I think Detroit figures some things out. I still hate that coach, but I'm going Detroit as well. Dan Campbell, man, figure it out. Stop going for it on fourth down. It didn't work.
They're going to check it downfield. That's what they're going to do.
My
as far as Goff can throw. So 25 yards.
Be nice. He's a good quarterback.
He's not good.
He's good. He's a good quarterback.
Oh, come on.
Tomorrow, big matchup in college football. Number 2, Georgia Bulldogs at number 4, Alabama Crimson Tide. No Nick Saban now. This first time in many years. Listen, I don't know. I feel like Alabama just not the same without Saban. I don't know. I mean, they're ranked 4th, but I'm going Georgia here.
Yeah, I went Georgia too. I was looking at matchups and stuff, and I'm like, yeah, they're number 4, but Georgia's just ready. You know what I mean? They're just ready right now. And I think they handle Alabama pretty easily, in my opinion. I think it's at least 2 scores.
All right. NASCAR. We are our experts now at NASCAR. We are picking some winners. Yeah. Well, not the winners, but at least the top 5. You need a top 5 driver. Where are your guys?
A 2, 4, and a 5 is pretty good in 1 week.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. So this Sunday, Hollywood Casino 400 in Kansas, Ron. Top 5 driver.
Hey, are they going to have Toto sing the national anthem?
Toto, Kansas. There's no place like home, buddy. There's no place like home.
That's right.
Who do you got? Who's your driver, my friend?
I'm going with Tyler Reddick, who's now currently 3rd.
You literally had a chance there to go with Dorothy, but no.
No guy named Scarecrow. But no, I went Tyler Reddick. I think he's 3rd right now in the playoffs. However, they work these playoff things, and I think they still have a stupid system how they keep track of who's ahead. When you can have a guy that doesn't win still be at the number 1 spot, I don't understand that. But who am I?
Yeah. You don't run NASCAR, right?
Tyler Reddick. I think he's going to win this.
I went Danny Hamlin, and Danny Hamlin, 6 out of the last 7 races has finished in the top 5.
Yeah, I know. That's why I stayed away from him this time, because I picked him the last 2 weeks.
It's a given. This guy, it's automatic. It's a guarantee. Death taxes top 5 for Danny Hamlin in Kansas. So I went Danny Hamlin. We'll see how it all works out.
Or Denny
Hamlin. Denny's, like the breakfast place. They're closing down too, I think. Aren't they closing down?
They should.
I always like IHOP better.
I went to Florida several years back, mind you, and went to a Denny's because it was like the only place around, and there was literally a 2-hour wait for Denny's.
Isn't that insane?
For Denny's,
it's big in Florida.
And I said, "It's like, wait, there's a 2-hour wait," and she's like, "Yes," and I'm like, "For Denny's?"
It's not as big in New England.
Yeah, why? Like, really?
Not that big. Not that big here.
So I went to a Waffle House.
There you go. Ron, we're ending that. We're at the end of our show. Before we get into our final thoughts, if you want to tell everyone out there how they could become a sponsor of Sports Unfolded and get their ads on our
everyone? You want me to tell everyone?
Tell everyone. Don't leave anyone out.
All right. So I'm talking to everyone out there. So pay attention. Come on, you too.
Pay attention.
And you pay attention. You can just go and email us at ribroadcasting.media@gmail.com right there. And at times it'll be way down the bottom of the ticker. So email us. We can send you out all the information. But really, all it takes is to go to your local coffee shop and get a hot chocolate with a cinnamon roll, and it'll cost less than that. Just
thousands of eyes on your business every single day.
Yeah, 13,000 listeners as well.
Yeah, and ears and eyes on your business.
That's right.
So take advantage of that. Donate Stars Bits as well. You have the opportunity to do that. Buy me a coffee. Another way you could donate to the show. Also, if you'd like some Sports Unfolded merchandise, go to Patreon at RhodeIslandBroadcasting. You can get yourself a nice mug, some mouse pads, all kinds of stuff, stickers,
pins,
right? Sports Unfolded. So we continue to grow. We want to thank WDJY 99.1 FM in Dallas, Georgia, for your support every Saturday, 1 to 3. We've got a lot of great listeners out there as well. SEC-TV, Public Access Channel 12, Southeast Connecticut. We're on at 10 p.m. on Tuesdays there as well. And then obviously you can follow us on all our social media platforms, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, MeWe. We're on everything possible. So again, take advantage of TikTok as well. Yes, we're on TikTok. Check out our NFL rankings. One more week left of Major League Baseball rankings as well. The Mickey Finn report.
I smell some NHL rankings coming soon.
NHL's rankings, NBA rankings coming soon as well. So a lot going on. We bring it to you every single week. And we're on every Friday night live at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Rhode Island Broadcasting. Fan Interactive. You can join our chat and let us know what you think and give your opinions as well. So make sure that you tune in every Friday night at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Rhode Island Broadcasting. Ron, it is final thought time, and final thoughts don't necessarily have to be about anything sports related. It could be about anything going on in the world today. I am first this week. I do have two. One I feel is very important that we just mentioned as we go along here. But my first one is the final game in Oakland for the A's.
Oh.
Was he out? Okay. Well, it's sad to see another city lose a franchise. Loyalty in sports is pretty much dead. We've seen it with players. We're seeing it with organizations. And it's sad because some of these memories, like Montreal Expos, never forget them. And they're still always there. It's the Hartford Whalers always still come up in my area in Connecticut because it was just something that brought excitement. And it's just how these teams move because of
the Dallas
whatever
Cowboys.
reason.
Oh, wait, they still exist.
They're still there. They're still there. They just don't show up for games. Oh, no, never mind.
Oh,
wow. But you know, I feel the Oakland fans out there, good luck because that's tough. Like a lot of times, you still root for the team now that they're going to be in Las Vegas. Some people will, some people won't. So I don't know how I would react to that, and it's got to be tough. And then I also wanted to just all the victims of Hurricane Helene. Our thoughts and prayers are with all of you out there down south. So many people were affected. 34 lives so far have been lost. It was a pretty big storm, devastating. Hopefully no more lives lost, and be safe. We hope everyone down there gets the help they need. But those were my final thoughts, Ron.
Okay, now that you eliminated my final thought and then the backup to go along with it.
I apologize, my friend.
So, but I will touch on the Oakland A's because, when you think about Oakland, they just lost the Raiders too. And I see Golden State Warriors moving across the bay.
Yeah.
So this is a trifecta of Oakland, and if there's ever a fan base that needs, some sort of support, it's this fan base, right? Oakland just lost all of its pro teams, so I don't know how that would make me feel. If the Red Sox left, oh, well, that would be okay. If the Bruins left or the Celtics or the Patriots maybe too. So,
well then.
But, we wouldn't want to lose our teams, basically, right? We wouldn't want to lose our teams. And I say that jokingly about the Red Sox and Patriots right now, but we wouldn't want to lose our teams. And my heart goes out for all the fans out in Oakland. You just got to find a way to move and come to New England, maybe. Just come to New England. You don't need the sunshine in the California area. You can just come here. We have some teams that are pretty good. We have some pretty good teams. So come on.
We have a current world champion. That has been our show for tonight. I want to thank James for joining us live, Jessica as well for chiming in earlier today. Ron, I always have fun. Hope everyone out there does. If you didn't get a chance to watch us live, share the show afterwards. Let your friends know. Join us every Friday night, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Rhode Island Broadcasting. We look forward to seeing you next week. And who knows where we'll go.
Yeah.
Episode 40.
Those viewers that have been watching the whole show, take a little time. Join in the conversations.
Right? We'll talk about anything other than politics and religion. So if you are interested, let us know. We'll talk about movies. We talked about video games today. All right. We had some fun with video games. Hope everyone out there enjoyed the show. We will see you again next Friday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Sports Unfolded. And all we ever ask for every single episode is that we get peace on earth.
Have a great night, everybody.